All right, so here we are, day three of our 10 days of base adventure. My name is Sethuraman. I'm the co founder of Web3 Compass. And today we need to talk about something very, very important because today we are trying to understand why most people never make it past their first interaction with any crypto app. I mean, picture this. Someone hears about your cool application, right? Maybe from a friend or from a post that they saw on Twitter or a base app or even a cast in Farcaster. And these guys they are generally curious. I mean, they are genuinely curious. And they click the link, they connect this thing called wallet that they somehow set up, and they are ready to do the thing. And then your app hits them with something like insufficient funds for gas transaction, and they look at their wallet and they got nothing. I mean, no ETH, no Polygon, no Base. They don't even really know what these things are or why they need them, right? And all they wanted to do was maybe, you know, get that funny looking monkey picture, or buy that token their friend suggested that will take them to the moon, or just play a game. But now they are being told that they need to buy something called the cryptocurrency first, just to pay a fee to use your app. See, at that moment, the average person will generally be like, this is too complicated for my life, and they will just close the tab and move to something else. They're gone. I mean, your user acquisition cost just went to infinity, and you didn't even get to show them all the cool stuff that you have built. Or there is this another scenario that's even more frustrating. I mean, somebody actually uses your application, they complete a task, they earn something, and when they go to claim their reward, your app says, great, now pay us $3 in gas to claim your $5 in reward. I mean, they are literally paying to get paid. The math doesn't math here. They feel scammed even though they are, even though you are trying to give them something. I mean, this is crypto's original sin. The thing that's been keeping mainstream adoption at bay for years. I mean, gas fees and the expectation that users need to be their own bank before they can even try your product. And today we are going to try and fix this, because today we are learning about something called Paymasters and smart wallets, two technologies that, when combined and used right, let your let you build applications where users never see a gas fee, they never need to own ETH or Base or whatever, and never have to think about the blockchain mechanics happening under the hood. We are talking about experiences that feels like any normal application, instant, free, and things that just work. But these things will be fully on chain with all the benefits that blockchain brings. So by the end of the day, you will be building gasless flows and onboarding experiences that doesn't make people want to throw their laptop out of the window or smash their mobile. So yeah, let's go. Okay, so let's start with a simple explanation for what this whole paymaster thing is, right? So I mean, because once you understand this, everything else just clicks into place. So a paymaster is essentially a service that pays the gas on the user's behalf, right? So I mean, that's it. Like it is a service that pays gas on the user's behalf. You see, like as a developer, what you do is you set up a paymaster service, you fund it with some ETH or Base or whatever, and configure it to pay for certain transaction that happens in your application, right? And so when a user does something that would normally cost them some gas, your paymaster will just pick up the bill instead and say, okay, you know what, I got this. Think about it like this. I mean, you know those situations where you go to a restaurant with your friends and one of them says dinner's on me and you buy some extra stuff. I mean, don't do that, but you get the scenario, right? So there, I mean, this basically works like that. I mean, there your friend is not eliminating the cost of dinner, they're just paying it so that you don't have to, right? A paymaster basically, like I said, it works on the same concept but for blockchain transactions. I mean, the gas fee still exists, someone still has to pay it, but your paymaster covers it so that your users doesn't have to pay, right? They might not even know that a transaction is happening in the backend. So from a user's perspective, everything is free. The transactions are free. The whole interaction is free. And from your perspective as a developer, it's basically a business expense you're choosing to take on to improve your user experience. Now you might be thinking, okay, but why would I pay for my user's transaction? That sounds expensive. Fair question. And the answer is the same reason why a platform like Spotify gives you a free trial, or why mobile games lets you play the first 10 levels for free, or why SaaS companies have premium tiers. Friction kills conversion. Every barrier you put between a user and value, you lose a percentage of potential users. Trust me, I've been through this, I know this. Gas fees are the ultimate barriers. I mean, whether you like it or not, for a crypto application, gas fees are a massive barrier. And by removing them, you are dramatically increasing the number of people who actually use your application. And once they're using it and getting value, and and all those stuff, like they're having fun with your application, you can monetize it in other ways that doesn't feel like a punishment. I mean, the economics both works out if you think about it strategically. I mean, say it costs like $0.5 in gas to let someone claim their first reward, or you know, pay, like complete their first level in your crypto game. That's your customer acquisition cost for that action. So if that user then engages with your app, maybe invites friends, or does things that generate revenue or network effect, that $0.5 was basically an investment and not a loss. Compare that to Web2 companies, which spends like $10 or $50 or more to acquire a user through ads. Sponsoring gas is actually cheap customer acquisition when you frame it that way, because it's like considerably cheaper than your ad campaigns or the whole thing that you do with a typical Web2 application. So paymasters become even more powerful when you make them conditional. I mean, the thing is, you don't have to sponsor everything for everyone forever. You can sponsor transactions for a new user to remove the whole onboarding friction. Then, after they have proven that they are engaged, switch to user pays. You can sponsor high value actions like maybe claiming a reward or minting an NFT, but not low value actions like basic transfers. You can sponsor based on user behavior, like giving gasless transactions as reward for completing certain milestones. The point is, you have control, and that control lets you optimize your gas spending to maximize growth and engagement. So, I mean, the technical magic here, that makes Paymaster work is a set of open standards, just like ERC20, specifically the ERC 4337. Let me just write it down here. It's called ERC 4337. Oh, wow. Okay. Give me a second. Right. Yeah. So it's called the 4337 standard. See, okay. So this 4337 is a standard for account abstraction. Now then there is another one. Let me just duplicate, and it's called ERC 5792, right? So this ERC 5792 is for new wallet RPC methods, and then there is one more. I know I'm writing a lot of ERCs, but bear with me. Then there is a really cool one called 7677, which is for Paymaster communication. So you have 4337, which is for account abstraction. You have 7677, which is for Paymaster communication, and you have 5792 for new wallet RPC methods. I mean, these standards means that Paymasters are in some proprietary stuff that Coinbase does, or MetaMask does, or a base specific hack or something like that. No, these things are actually part of the Ethereum ecosystem, and it's basically Ethereum's evolution towards a better user experience, and they work across any chain or wallet that implements these standards. So you're building on solid future proof infrastructure and not betting on some experimental tech that might not be around next year. So the thing is, on base, setting up Paymasters is surprisingly easy because of the Coinbase developer platform. Like you should, like we will talk about it more, but yeah, I mean, we will use it extensively and not talk about it more. Yeah, it's called the Coinbase, developer platform. You have to sign in, open the portal, and it's super easy. Because of this, they provide Paymaster as a service, which means you don't have to deploy any smart contracts or run your own infrastructure or do any of that stuff. You just have to sign up, get an API endpoint, configure which transaction you want to sponsor, and boom, you've got a working Paymaster. I mean, I think they are also offering some credits in gas. I mean, gas credits as part of the base gasless campaign. So you can experiment and build without worrying about cost, while you are basically figuring out other things like your application growth and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Now that I've blown your mind with Paymasters, let's just talk about the other piece of the puzzle, which is smart wallets, right? Because here's the thing, I mean, Paymasters, they cannot work with regular wallets, like regular Ethereum or Base or whatever wallets, right? They need smart wallets, right? So what is the difference? I mean, why does it even matter? What is smart wallets, and what is the difference between that and a regular wallet, right? You see, traditional wallets, like the ones that you use in Ethereum, like the ones most people are familiar with, they are called EOAs, or externally owned accounts. So an EOA is basically a private key that controls an address, right? You have the key, you own the wallet. You lose the key, you lose everything. So when you want to do something on chain, you basically sign a transaction with your private key, right? I mean, it's hidden, should be hidden, right? So yeah, you sign your transaction with your private key, and that transaction gets that transaction gets broadcasted to the network, and if your wallet has enough ETH to cover gas, it gets executed. Simple but rigid. The problem with EOAs, or externally owned accounts, is that they are basically dumb. They can't have logic, they can't make decision, they can't delegate permissions, they can't batch multiple actions together. They are just a key pair that can sign transactions, and every transaction has to be initiated and paid for by that specific account. This is fine for basic crypto operations. I mean, not to bash everything that we have been doing for all these many years, right? I mean, this functionality, or these externally owned accounts, they work fine for basic crypto operations, but it is terrible for building good user experience. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we all acknowledge it. Everybody is making a tweet about it on crypto Twitter, right? I mean, this is one of the reasons why every interaction requires a wallet pop-up. It's why users need to have tokens before they can do anything. It's why you can't have someone else pay for your gas fee, because in the EOA model, whoever initiates the transactions pays the gas, period. This is why you can't have good things in crypto, right? So smart wallets basically changes that. So instead of your wallet being a private key or a key pair, it's actually a smart contract deployed on the blockchain. So smart wallet is no longer a key pair, it's actually a contract deployed on the blockchain. I mean, think about what that means for a second. I mean, smart contracts are programmable. They are code. They can have custom logic. They can have multiple owners or signers. They can execute transactions based on condition. They can batch multiple operations into one transaction. They can separate who initiates an action from who pays for it. So your wallet basically stops being a dumb key holder and becomes this intelligent agent that can do sophisticated things on your behalf. And this is where something called account abstraction comes in, right? Specifically through a standard called ERC 4337, right? So account abstraction means that we are abstracting away or hiding away all the rigid rules of how accounts or like Ethereum accounts work, and replace them with flexible programmable logic. In practical terms, it lets you build wallets that do not require users to hold ETH for gas, don't force them to manage seed prices, can have features like social recovery where you can use your friends to recover access if you lose your keys, can have multiple signature security where multiple people need to approve transaction, and most importantly for today's topic, can work with paymasters to enable gasless transactions. So I've been talking a lot. So how does smart wallets do all these things, right? How does, for our topic of the day, how do these smart wallets enable these gasless transactions? Well, with EOAs or externally owned accounts, when you want to do something, you create a transaction, you sign it with your private key, and you broadcast it directly to the network. And the network checks if you have enough ETH for the gas, and if you do, it executes the transaction, right? So with the smart wallets, the flow is kind of different. So instead of sending a transaction directly to a blockchain, the smart wallet creates something called a user operation, right? So think of this user operation like a transaction request or an intent. It's like you saying, hey, I want to do this action, but not worrying yet about how it gets executed or who pays for it. So this user operation doesn't go straight to the blockchain. Instead, it goes to a special service called the bundler, which is hidden there. You see it, right? So you can think of a bundler like a friendly delivery person, right? It collects these user operations from different users, bundles them together, hence the name, and gets them ready to be sent on chain. But before it actually sends them, the bundler asks another key player, which is the paymaster, a very important question. Hey, is someone sponsoring this user's gas fee? So if the paymaster says yes, for example, like your app decides to cover the gas, or a project runs a promotion to make interactions free, then the bundler submits the transaction to the blockchain. The paymaster pays the gas, and your actions get executed. So from a user's perspective, it feels instant, free, and seamless. No ETH, no pop up, no confusion. And under the hood, a lot of smart coordination happens between the user operation, the bundler, and the paymaster. But all the user sees is I click the button and it just worked. And that's the magic of account abstraction. Taking something that used to feel like rocket science and turning it into a normal, delightful application experience. This architecture separates the user action from the gas payment, which is the breakthrough that makes gasless user experience possible. The user just signs their intent with the smart wallet, the paymaster agrees to cover the cost. The bundler the bundler handles the execution. The user never touches the gas fee, never needs to think about the balance, the token balance, never gets hit with insufficient fund errors. From their perspective, they just used an app and it worked exactly like any other Web2 application. So the thing is, Base has gone all in on smart wallets with something called Base account, which is their implementation of the ERC 4337 smart wallet infrastructure. So when a user creates a Base account, they are getting a smart contract wallet that supports all these features. Social discovery, multi-device access, gasless transactions via Paymaster. It's all designed to be invisible to the user. Right? I was going to say invincible, but invisible to the user. They don't I mean, they don't need to understand what account abstraction is or how smart contracts work. They just have a wallet that works better, and the complexity is hidden from them. The beautiful thing about smart wallets is that I mean, they are not just about gasless transactions. They unlock all sorts of UX improvements that are impossible with your typical regular wallets. You can batch, again, I don't know if I'm repeating this, but you can batch multiple actions. So a user can approve a token and use it in the same interaction instead of two separate transactions. You can implement session keys where your application can perform certain actions on behalf of the user without asking for signatures every time. You can have spending limits or time-based restrictions that makes wallet safer for mainstream users who doesn't want to be one, phishing link away from losing everything, right? So you get all these features and all the complexity is just hidden away, right? Again, all this sounds super cool, and now that I've shilled enough of this stuff, let's just go ahead and try this out hands on, old code, and let's see what we can create with it. So yeah, let's go. All right, so I believe we had a pretty long lecture regarding a lot of stuff like, smart wallets and paymasters and how they can create a seamless user experience that has been haunting crypto for a long time, and how you can basically sponsor your users' gas fees using the paymaster. And it's like the whole thing, right? Like so the thing is, we can create seamless experience for users using both these elements. And we talked about it a lot, like the working and everything. So I guess it's time to stop the app and start the build. So that's what we are going to do. Like, I'm going to show you how to create a very simple demonstration of how to use paymasters and smart wallets. So the thing is, if you want to install smart wallets, just base app, just go, like you can, I think, again, you need to install it in your mobile, but oh, what happened? Okay. Oh, base app. Yeah. So this is the base app. You can install it in your mobile. It's pretty cool. It's nice to have a smart wallet. So that you can try out different stuff. So yeah. Now, apart from that, like, you can actually check out the base Paymaster. Yeah, sponsor gas. So this is basically their guide to the whole thing, and it's pretty neat, like pretty simple and straightforward. Like, there is not too many steps, and it gives you a pretty good idea of how to set up the whole thing. So you can use this as a way to set up your own paymaster and stuff. Of course, I'm going to show you how to do it, but I'm just saying, like, it's pretty easy. Like, it's a pretty solid doc, so you can just try it out. And next, I think the most important piece of the puzzle is something called as the Coinbase Developer Platform. Now, this is going to be your new best friend for all the time. Like, we are going to use the Paymaster because this has some really really cool features, and it makes the whole thing, like the whole paymaster setup, so easy and convenient, right? It's all like, all of it will happen via a button click. Like, you don't have to create contracts or anything. Super smooth. And all you have to do is create an account here. Like, I already have one. Like, you can just use your email to create an account there. It's pretty easy. Like, typical sign in. Like, I've used passkey method. That's why it's connecting to the mobile, because I know, I mean, it's like, I don't like typing a lot of passwords. So, and I mean, I forget a lot of passwords. So, passkey is easier. So you can use your email, just sign in. It's fine. So yeah, and I already have this account. Yeah, there you go. So this is pretty much what it does, and it has all these different features like on-ramp, trade API, base tool, paymaster. We'll get to it. and it even has a faucet, which is pretty cool. So make sure that you have an account in the Coinbase developer platform. Like, we are going to use it, we are going to create new projects and set up our Paymaster and everything. So this is critical. This is your best friend. Get yourself a Coinbase developer platform account. And the next thing is you need a MetaMask wallet, like typical stuff. Uh, and you need to make sure that you have added, yeah, this is my earlier tests, but yeah, you need to make sure that you have added the base Sepolia, because we are not going to launch everything onto the mainnet, like base mainnet. We are going to use the Sepolia testnet. So one of the easiest ways to add base Sepolia is to just go to their explorer, base Sepolia explorer, and because otherwise you have to type in a lot. Like, you can just click on this button, like add base Sepolia. Yeah, I've already added it, so it's fine. Otherwise, you can just click on it, and the base Apolia stuff would be added to your MetaMask. So it's easy, and you can use that. So like, once you have that, you can actually copy the address and maybe get yourself some tokens. Like, go to again, really cool, really easy. Base Apolia. Just select Base Apolia. Go to the Coinbase developer platform. Yeah, go to the faucet and just paste your address, and it gives you point 1 ETH each day. But the thing is, you will get to this much. So when you run out of ETH, like the token, you can just come back and get yourself some more tokens, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I'll just claim it, and I have 25 rupees, and there you go. So you can claim a few more if you want. I mean, it never hurts to have a good amount of faucet tokens. I know I'm not hoarding. I just get to, don't come after me saying that I'm hoarding the tokens. It's like point three zeros and two or something. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. There you go. It's like point triple zero two seven ETH. So it's fine. It's fine. I'm not hoarding. Anyway, so yeah, once you have that, I think we are pretty much set. So the idea is. I think I'll just show you the whole thing. No, okay. So the idea is we are going to create a contract called claim reward, or yeah, where users can claim the reward. Like, when we deploy the contract, we will deploy it with some reward. We'll send it some reward, and a user can come in and claim that reward. And the thing is, while claiming the reward, the user don't have to pay for the gas. Like, it will be completely sponsored by our Paymaster. So that is the whole thing. So I'll just give you a quick demo of the application, and then we'll see how to build the whole thing. Like, I'll show you. Like, it's basic contract, basic UI, nothing fancy, but the whole thing works. So yeah, let's go. All right, so this is the basic application, like, nothing fancy. So I've already deployed a contract which has some reward, and I'm just going to claim it. So it has a very simple button which lets me connect to my base wallet that I've installed in my mobile, and claim the reward. That's it. So it's going to be pretty easy, pretty straightforward, nothing fancy. So I'll just connect to my base wallet, and yeah, I mean, I've already tried it. That's why it's connecting so fast. But otherwise, there will be a pop-up, and I can just click on claim reward, and yeah, you can see that it will. Yeah, okay. So yeah, so this basically helps me claim the reward without any gas fee. You can see the whole thing, right? So yeah, we'll just confirm this. So network, and yeah, I'll just confirm it with my mobile. You can see that there is no network fees, right? And it's confirming, and there you go. There you go. So you can look at the transaction, like, you can just go to the whole base Sepolia Explorer. You can look at the transaction and see how everything goes. Like, even look at the address. Like, yeah, I mean, there is gas fee, but none of it is paid by me, right? Like, this is my account, and I just keep getting a lot of ETH. That's it. So pretty cool. Now you can see that this is actually the account. Like, you can see the account, but again, this is not your typical account, because you can see that here it is detected as a contract, because of course it is a smart wallet, like you can see the whole contract. So this is what we talked about, right? Like if you go to the account address, you can see that there is a contract in that address, because you're not dealing with a typical key pair, you're dealing with a contract. I think it says right here, yeah, Coinbase smart wallet. There you go. So I have a smart wallet, so I can do all the gasless payment and everything. So get yourself a smart wallet, and that's actually step one. Just make sure that you have one. But yeah, so this is a very simple front end. I even called it front end, which is stupid. I might just change that. So yeah, I mean, I'll put the code, but I'll show you how to build all these things. So now, if, again, you can only claim it once. If I click claim again, I won't be able to do so, because the claim can only happen once. Yeah, there you go. Or you reward already claimed. You can see that user operation. I told you, right? Like user operation is reverted, because you cannot do the whole thing, because the reward is already claimed. Like I claimed it previously. So the user operation, it's not a transaction, it's a user operation. It's saying that I want to conduct this transaction, but the thing is you cannot, because the reward is already claimed. So we'll see how all this works, and how our Paymaster just handles the payment. So you can see there is no network fees or anything. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. So let's go and build this whole thing. Right? Yeah. All right. So that was our application, like the user cancel transaction, because we already claimed the reward. So yeah, I guess like it's time we see how we can build this whole thing, right? Like, I mean, we saw how we claimed the reward without actually paying for it, like without any gas fee and stuff. So let's see how to build it. So a couple of prerequisites. First and foremost, make sure that you have the Coinbase developer platform account. This, like I said, is going to be your new best friend, so make sure that you have an account. It's pretty easy to set it up. And next, make sure you have a MetaMask wallet with the base Sepolia network added, right? Like you need the base Sepolia network, because that's where we are going to, deploy our contract and everything. And you can actually get some tokens for it, like for your account from the wallet. I'm sorry, faucet, which is in the Coinbase developer platform. So yeah, make sure that you have all three. And then let's just go ahead and yeah, one more thing, like so for the contract we're going to be using Foundry. So make sure that you've installed Foundry also. Like it's a pretty neat framework, like I love Foundry. um, you can use remix, it's fine. I mean, if you want, you can. But yeah, Foundry is kind of cool. I mean, I love Foundry, so you can also do it in remix if you want. I mean, no issues there. But again, just to get that developer vibe and you get proper introduction to uh, you know actual framework, you can use Foundry, which, like, learning Foundry is so cool. I mean, the testing that you can do with the Foundry framework is insane. So I would suggest you use Foundry. I mean, now it's going to be a very basic contract, so it's you can use Remix also, but again, dev vibe. So we're just going to use Foundry. So yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a new folder. I'm just going to call it Paymaster demo. I'm going to open my terminal there, and I've installed Foundry, right? So I'll just go forge init pay. I'll just call it reward contract. So this is going to be my new contract. It's called the reward contract. So I'll just install everything, and boom, you have the reward contract there, right? So yeah, I'm just going to open it using Visual Studio Code. So I'll be using it a lot of terminal stuff, so you don't have to worry about scripts or anything. Just remove the script so that it doesn't sound the script and the okay source can be there. I'll just remove the script and the test. We just need the source file, and yeah. So okay, so control.sol. We'll just delete that. We'll just create our new file, which is called reward. Wait. Rewards.sol. I mean, you can call it anything, it's fine. So yeah, I mean, very basic contract. I'm not going to make it too complex, but yeah. So Again, like I said, this whole contract, what it's going to do is it's just going to, initialize the contract. We are going to add some reward to it, and people can claim the reward. That's it, and they can only claim it once. So it's just to demonstrate the whole thing. So you don't have to worry about like long contracts and stuff. So I'll just go with the pragma statement. So it's going to be uh, greater than 0.8.0. Okay, right, and I'm going to call the contract reward contract, right? And so yeah, so we'll have a boolean public, which is going to be reward claimed, which is going to be false, because if it is true, that means the reward is already claimed, right? And then we can just create a constructor, like very easy. I'm just going to keep it absolutely easy, and it's going to be payable, meaning the moment that we deploy the contract, we are going to send some tokens to it, right? So within the constructor, we're going to say message dot value. I mean, you should send some reward, otherwise there is no point. So we'll just say must send some tokens, right? So as reward. Okay. So again, very easy stuff. So the idea is when you are actually deploying the contract, you should add some value to it, right? You should send some tokens uh, to this contract so that there is some reward for other users to claim. So what we are going to do is, yeah, so this is it. You can even add other functions to refill the reward and stuff, but I'm just going to keep it absolutely simple because the major thing about this video is we have to learn how to set up the paymaster. So the contract is basic. We just need it, like we just need to enable some kind of transaction in it, and we are going to see how the transaction can happen without any gas fee, because our paymaster will be paying for the gas, right? So I'm going to create a function. I'm going to call it claim reward, right? And it doesn't take any parameters. It's going to be an external function, so that you don't have to call it anywhere within the product, contract. So it requires a couple of things. It requires that the reward claimed is obviously false, right? I mean, it has to be false, otherwise that means the reward is already claimed. So we'll say reward already claimed claimed. Okay, cool. And next, we need another. Yeah, this is fine. Like, we'll just send the whole report to this address. So, yeah. So what we are going to do is, we are going to get all the reward. All the initial, uh, all the balance of this whole contract reward amount, which is going to be address dot this, meaning this is the address, and we're going to say balance. And okay, so we have the reward amount, and once we get it, we are going to just transfer it. So payable message dot sender dot transfer. Again, very simple, not going into any complexities here. And I'm just going to say, yeah, so reward claimed equals true. So this is it. Absolutely simple contract. We just making sure that you can deploy a contract that has some reward to it, and once the reward is claimed, you cannot claim it anymore. So you can add other functions to it. Like, you can make it as complex as possible. They can add more functions that refills the reward or whatever. But yeah, for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to keep it absolutely simple. Now we need to actually add a couple of environment variables for all the things that we are going to do, because we need to deploy it onto the uh, testnet like the Sepolia base Sepolia. So we need an RPC URL. Now, the basic or the most easiest RPC is like it's pretty straightforward. It's this one. Yeah, it's the sepolia.base.org. It's an RPC for the base Sepolia. It's pretty like it's very convenient URL. So yeah, next we need the private key. Private key. So for this, we are going to use our MetaMask account. So what I'm going to do is, oh, okay, let me just get the, okay, yeah. So go to MetaMask, click here, account details, private key. Okay, confirm, and you can just reveal it. But I'm going to do the whole, just click on it and it will be revealed. So I'm just going to do the whole process outside. Again, not that I don't trust you guys, but yeah, account details, private key. You can just look at the nice screen there while I get the private key. Again, it's pretty. It's actually a pretty not so safe practice to actually reveal it, even if it's a tutorial and even if I'm not using a serious wallet. It's still better to not reveal the private key because that is a practice. So yeah, so all right, so I have actually, you know set up the private key and everything. Now let's just go ahead and deploy the contract. So deploying the contract is also pretty easy. uh, just give me a second. Okay, 1 second. uh, Right. So yeah, so we are going to use the command, like we are not even going to use the script because I'm going to keep this whole thing super simple. So before that, make sure that you do source.env so that the terminal can pick up all the variables that we have given in our .env file, right? So once you have that, just go forge create. I'm going to go src slash what is the name? It's rewards, right? Okay, rewards, and the contract name is reward contract, and what else? So I'm going to set the RPC RPC hyphen URL, which is going to be the RPC. It's basically the same variable name that we have given. That's why we have sourced the env file so that we can pick up those variables like this. And the private key is going to be private key. And okay, now this is the important part. So we are going to give it some value. Now I'm not going to give a lot of it because we don't have a lot of tokens. So I'm just going to say 1 2 3 4.9. I know, don't call me cheapskate, but yeah, just for the demo. So this is the reward. This is the absolute reward that you're going to get from the contract. But yeah, better than nothing. Uh, Broadcast. Imagine you want to get this reward and the gas fee is like point zero 0.01 or something like that. That doesn't make sense, right? So yeah, I think this is the perfect reward to just uh, completely help you understand this whole thing with Paymaster. So yeah, broadcast, and yeah, it compiled, and yeah, there you go. So you have your contract. So you can see this. This is the deployed contract. You can just copy it, uh, go to Base Sepolia, Base Sepolia Explorer, and yes, we have our contract, 24 seconds, and it has an Ethereum balance of, I know, whatever that we have given. So this is the reward that we are going for. Now let's see how we can get this reward without paying any gas fee and build a very simple UI, right? So yeah, let's go. All right. All right, so we have our contract deployed on the base Sepolia chain. Now I guess we can just go ahead and build a front end around it. Again, it's going to be simple, nothing fancy, just a bit of React, right? And yeah, so let me just open the folder in the Visual Studio Code. Yes, so we have the reward contract, like our whole contracting. So let me just open the terminal there, and I'm going to create a simple wheat uh, uh, front end. Like I'm going to use the wheat framework. So let me just do this. npm create wheat at latest. I'm going to call it the Paymaster front end. Paymaster front end, right? And yeah, it's in folder, and the template is going to be what was it called? It's is it React, or I think it's just React, right? Yeah. So let's see what happens. Roll down, no, no. I think we'll just do that ourselves. So yes. Oh wow. Did we just create it inside? Oh, so sorry. Let me just move outside the folder. Okay. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, just make sure that it's outside the contracting. We don't want to put the front end inside it. So yeah, there we have it. And so let me just do a bit of cd paymaster front end ls. Okay, so we have everything. Now I'm just going to say npm install so that everything is installed, and we need to install a couple of more stuff, like all the things that we are going to use. So let me just, oh wait, okay, let me just start with okay, so yeah, we have all the npm packages installed. I mean, all the basic ones that comes with it. Now we need to install a couple of our packages. So for that, let's just go install. The first one is, of course, the base or account. Like we need the account. We need to get the base account, like the smart account, smart wallet account, to do the whole thing, right? So we're going to install it again. Make sure that you're installing it inside the Paymaster front end, and we need the Coinbase wallet SDK, Coinbase slash wallet SDK, and we are going to use VM. Now VM is also a library that helps you access the whole. It's an interface for this whole EVM change and stuff. Just like Ethers, but I think VM is pretty popular nowadays. A lot of projects are using VM, and so I think we are going to use it too. So just install all these things, and in the meantime, what we are going to do is we are going to create a .env file, right? So within the .env file, the first thing that we're going to do is we have our uh, the contract address. So we are going to set it up there. So yeah, let's just see. See, since it's wheat, we need to put the wheat prefix in front of our environment variable. So wheat rewards contract address. So we are going to basically look into this address. So let me just go ahead and yeah, copy this. This is the contract address, right? Yeah, okay. I'm just going to copy this and paste it. Yeah, right. So we have this whole thing, like we have the address set up. Now let's just, now another thing that we need, for this whole thing is the RPC URL. Like we need an RPC URL. Now, the one that we use for contract is enough, but if you really want to go for the whole, uh, you know, proper method, like what I would suggest is get yourself an Alchemy account. Alchemy is an RPC provider, really cool stuff. Like they've been around for so long, and I think they've been, uh, like, yeah, they're top of their game. So just create a new app. It's pretty easy. We'll just say payment, oh, sorry, Paymaster demo RPC for payment base. And yeah, can just say I think wallet fits it. Hmm. But yeah, let's see. So the choose the chains, and of course like we can choose all these different chains. You can see like we have the mainnet and Sepolia with base, so we're going to choose that. Next, yeah, we can just skip this. Create application, and we have this demo. Make sure that you are getting the where is the base Sepolia. You can see this. Just copy it and go to our project, and we are going to create our Wheat RPC URL for the project, right? So yeah, just type in Wheat RPC URL, and there you go. So this is also there. Now we need one more thing, but I'll show you how to set up the whole thing. It's basically the Paymaster service URL. Like so, I told you that we can create like it's pretty easy to set up Paymaster using the uh, Coinbase developer platform. So the way that you do it is like I'll show you right away. I mean, why delay the whole cool stuff, right? So what you have to do is just go to the developer platform and there create a project. I'll just create a new project. I'll just call it Paymaster demo. Oh yeah, we have it. Cool. I'll just create it. You can name it anything. Okay. So yeah, like you have all these things. Like we're going to skip that. We are looking for something particular. So go to Base Tools, go to Paymaster, and here you can set up your Paymaster. So what you have to do is go to Configure. So the thing is, you can like there is this playground thing that does the whole thing. Like you can test it out. You can just run it, and yeah, so it just shows you the whole Paymaster data, like simple stuff. So and it's the main net, like you can switch to testnet and run it. I mean, it works the same way. I mean, nothing fancy about it. So we can configure our stuff. So this is generally the endpoint that we are going to use or that we are going to hit when we are uh, you know, calling the Paymaster service. Typically, best practice, you should not reveal it because if they know it, like they can just anybody can use it. So in a project, you have to be super careful on how you store it because if people get access to this thing, you don't want that. Like you can set up all the different limits and stuff, but yeah, I mean, you don't want people knowing this. But yeah, I'm like I said, I trust you guys, and I will delete this project after the video, so it's fine. So yeah, make sure you copy this line. This is the thing that we want. This is our Paymaster URL, so we need to store it in our environment. So right, uh, Paymaster service URL. Okay. So yes, there you go. So we have the Paymaster service URL also set up. Now we can go ahead and set up the contract. So what we are going to do is you can see that there is a contract allow list, right? So we can copy the address of our contract and we need to, so in order for the Paymaster to work, this is why I said like it's so easy to actually set up the whole thing, because in order for this to work, like you need to give it a list of contracts whose transaction payment the Paymaster will take care of. And Coinbase is super generous. I mean, I'll show you why I said that. Because when you go to the overview, you can see that for testnet it's free. So the thing is, how this happens is like if you're using the mainnet, like you have to put in some money to it, or they will give you the bill at the end of the month, and you have to, it's sort of like a credit thing, and you have to just you know pay the whole thing. But for testnet it's absolutely free. You don't have to worry about it, right? So that's like, so if you're doing the whole thing using the Paymaster here for the base Apollo testnet, you don't have to pay anything. It's free. So what we are going to do is we are going to add our contract to the contract allow list. uh, the name of the contract, I think we can just keep it proper. What was the name? I'm so sorry, I forget these kind of things pretty quickly. I know it's not ideal, but yeah, it's reward contract. So, and it's claim reward, right? Okay. Okay, and you can give, this is another really cool function. Like you don't have to use Paymaster for every single function that is there in the contract. You just need you just need to pay for the claim reward thing. So you can just put it like uh, yeah, just add the function name and that's it. So the paymaster will only pay for the transactions that is happening via this function, like which is claim reward, which is what we want, right? I mean, in our contract there is just this one function, but if in case like you build a very complex contract that has a lot of functions, you can just put a in a comma and add all the functions. And our functions doesn't have, I mean, our function doesn't have any parameters, so you don't have to give any of that. It's just claim reward, right? It's just claim reward. So make sure and just, yeah, yeah, I mean, yeah, so this is the function. And you just need to click on add. And yes, so yeah, now a really really important thing that you have to take care of is that when you're copying the endpoint, make sure that you switch the network to Sepolia, right? You can't use the Paymaster like the base mainnet Paymaster endpoint and deploy a contract on Sepolia and hope that it works. It doesn't happen that way. And you can also set up like global limits, like you can say a maximum one USD per limit, like all these kind of things. So it's like I said, you don't need to set up a contract for any of this. I know it's pretty smooth. All you need to do is click a few buttons and you have your Paymaster up and running. So yeah, make sure that you do it. Make sure that you've set up the Paymaster, add the contract. You can add a function or leave it. Like if you don't add any functions, that means the entire transaction or the entire interaction with your contract will be paid by the paymaster, which you don't want. I mean, you just like you can do it if you're generous, but I would suggest against it. So set up the functions where you need the paymaster, and yeah,